So if you follow my channel at all, you know that I'm always figuring things out and testing out new gear and trying to figure out the best way of going about things in a small apartment. And it turns out that my Orange 35RT, my guitar amplifier, it's actually capable of doing something that I didn't know that it could do. And that's that it has a cabinet simulation inside of it, which means that if I plug an instrument cable into the input and put it into my audio interface, I can actually record directly from the Orange amp into my audio interface, also while using all my pedals. Additionally, this means I can also combine my new X Trident in my audio interface along with my Orange amp, so I can essentially use two rigs at once in a stereo path. For me, this changes everything because after playing around with it, I realized how close it is, how it sounded to the real thing. And according to Orange, they say that it's called the cab sim feature. And what this does is that emulates the sound of a 4x12 cabinet that's loaded with the Voice of the World speakers. That's the standard speakers they use in the Orange amplifiers. So you can use this either for practicing silently, or you can hook it up to a mixing and recording console. And it ends up being perfect for a small apartment, and it's perfect for me. And frankly, I can't believe I didn't know this before. So here's the sound of the cabinet simulation. I'm using all my guitar pedals that you can see over here, and here's what it sounds like. And here's what it sounds like where I'm miking my guitar amp instead with the Shure SM57. And you'll notice that there is a bit of a difference. So what's cool about it is that the real guitar amp definitely does have a different sound than the cabinet sim, but they're very close. But to me, it sounds like there's just like a little more bass and a little more low end, and it just like has a more full body, the real guitar amp. Now that could be because of something to do with my setup or the microphone that I'm using. But regardless, there is a bit of a difference. But for me personally, like I'm happy enough with the way that the cab simulation sounds that that's something that I can use, if I don't want to terrorize my neighbor any more than I already do. So yeah, I'm just going out for a walk right now. I was thinking about, I was talking to my buddy the other day about, as I get more and more involved in like figuring out this gear industry or whatever you want to call it, the gear world, really gives you an idea of like how much you just don't know. Like before I started making guitar pedal videos, I thought to myself that I knew a lot. I thought that I knew so much about what you could do with a guitar and the equipment that you get for it. But truthfully, I probably only knew like 10%. Maybe even less than that, maybe something like 5% instead. So, it really gives you an idea of like how much you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know, you just like figure things out as you go along, and it seems like every day you can learn something new about what some of your stuff can do. But yeah, I'm excited to continue making stuff like this and figure out what everything can do and like how to get the optimal setup. I know that even now I'm not even close to knowing everything. Maybe I know 15% now. So, I'm excited to figure out what else I can do with all the stuff that I already have, Make sure you grab my cheat sheet too, my fretboard memorization cheat sheet. It's the triads all over the neck. You can get it from travelingguitarist.com/fretboard cheat sheet. And sign up to my forum too at forum.travelingguitarist.com and chat about guitars, gear, whatever you want really.